Sir Ian McKellen once stated, "I don't make much distinction between being a stand-up comic and acting Shakespeare. In fact, unless you're a good comedian, you're never going to be able to play Hamlet properly."
This project is called At Humour's Edge. It's about...
At Humour's Edge.
At Humour's Edge.
The edge of humour.
The edge of humour.
That's intense.
Yeah, at the most easterly point in North America.
It is.
Well, I don't know any more than anybody knows.
A lot of articles have been written and a lot of discussion has gone on about the Newfoundland sense of humor. And all I can think is that it is like our other disciplines like music and storytelling. It's probably the result of a survival tactic.
I honestly think Newfoundlanders are funny because we've had such a hard history.
My fellow Newfoundlanders and Labradorians. Good evening. As we all know, nobody lost a laugh more than I do. As you can see, I can barely keep the smile off my face. It means a lot to have this here finally, because for years, other comedy festivals across Canada have been stealing our natural resource, our comedians. Yes. Now, thank you. Really, it makes my blood boil, you know, it really makes my blood boil now. You know, our comedians, we produce great comedians, you know, the Codco crowd, 22 Minutes, John Efford, some of the best comedians anywhere in the country, hands down. Come from Newfoundland and Labrador, I believe you'll agree with me there.
We were a kind of culture unto itself, for sure. Like, there was nobody quite like us anywhere else. And we were, you know, we were stuck here. We couldn't go anywhere else because we were on an island for the most part.
Comedy comes from a really deep truth, usually.
Tying my shoe by the banks of an old feeling. Rhythm and blues washing over my soul. What can I do? I tried so hard to let you in. Right after I said I had to go. But I know I'm not the only one. Oh, I know I'm not the only one. Oh, I know I'm not the only one at Love City.
Here at St. John's, Newfoundland, Canada's Amsterdam. I love this city. Look at all the hot Newfoundland girls everywhere. Oh, makes me crazy. Competition breeds quality. So you got 4 or 5 strip joints in this city. Oh, Jesus, you got the Cotton Club. That's the classy one. Been in business for over 600 years. Some of the girls been in there that long too. There's none like a good Newfoundland stripper. All right, boys, here she comes to the stage. Give it up now. Here she is, all the way from Harbour Grace. It's Marjorie! Comes out in her housecoat slippers. Agnes in the cage. Agnes in the cage.
Life was hard here. People didn't really have a lot of opportunity to distract themselves from their making a living.
I wanted to come down here. I wanted to have a good time. And what happened to me, by Amelia, it makes my skin crawl. Now, I called a taxi cab at 7:15 this evening, Newfoundland time. I'm not going to get into the name of the taxi cab. I'm not going to name names here. The dispatcher told me that the cab would be there right away. It was there 5 minutes later. Now that's a broken commitment, a broken promise. I said, this is not the commitment we had. You said right away. I came out, there was no cab, there was no bus, not a rickshaw, nothing. Now there I was in my driveway. When the cab did arrive, there was a fare already on the meter of $2.50 on the meter. We had not left my driveway. Now that, for me, is at best an unfair tax, at worst a clawback. Yes. I mentioned this to the driver and he said to me, he said, Premier Williams, what do you want? What are you going to do? Sue me. So I did. Some people say it's unreasonable. I say there will come a day when I'll say, we got her, we got her, we got her. Now, it was important for me to be here on time because this morning I woke very early. I began parting my hair. It's very important to do that. One half represents Newfoundland, the other Labrador. Our province, our people.
We have struggled so hard, and when we try to release from that, we can't help but find humor.
Humour's Edge.
In close-knit communities, small communities, everybody entertained each other. It was valued if you could sing, if you could recite something, if you could make people laugh.
They say the bottom of St. John's Harbour is paved with corn. The indestructible vegetable. You talk about your yellow brick road.
Well, there's no question that over the last couple of decades there's been a lot more influence from outside, and what we're seeing is a mix of our traditional forms of expression sort of incorporating things we see happening elsewhere. And so we have gone from a storytelling to a sketch comedy, very much a political commentary type of comedy.
My favorite is when the candidates come to the door, right? Oh, my son, I had this fella come to the door one time, told him, come on in, my son, plunked him down, gave him a cup of tea, let him go on for 2 hours. Finally said, sorry, buddy, can't vote for you. He said, why not? I said, not my district, I'm just here feeding the cats.
It's a different kind of acting. Like I have to learn to audition for film. I've been working on that because I didn't know how to deal with a camera in a room or how I'm supposed to create a character for this little thing. Whereas I'm used to standing in front of a house of 200 to 500, 600 people and making it happen with my body. With, as you know, a camera in a film, it all has to happen inside your head. So it depends on what your expertise is. If you're talking about being a stand-up comic or a character comic, that's a totally different thing than being a film actor or even being a theater actor.
Well, I think we were very aware of that we were part of a big movement of people that were musicians and visual artists and filmmakers and actors and writers. We were part of that whole big, well, they call it a renaissance or whatever.
Chester's was broken into. Someone's willing to go to jail for card money. Did they do it during the daytime? Because that would have been hilarious to see that, right? Yo, I'll give you a card, boy, some chips, and your money! You know, Chester's too, to be like, oh my lord, that's gonna be 45 minutes. Gravy on your money, my lord?
Every year I try and write or recall stuff that is Newfoundland specific because I know that probably will do the best and get the best reaction. So But it's fun to kind of go back and just remember things and talk about stuff that maybe people don't talk about anymore. Like, you know, you just kind of forget about it, it's in the back of your mind, but you haven't thought about it in a while. So to go on stage and reveal that, people go, oh my God, like whether it's you're talking about turkey necks, right, or whatever you're talking about, people are like, oh my God, turkey necks. So, you know, if I say it in Toronto, they probably go like, it's mildly amusing, but you know, they didn't go through that, didn't experience it. So I love doing that. Every year, that's like a goal of mine, to just start harvesting all these ideas and stuff to come back to the festival.
No one believes I'm from Newfoundland. No one believes it. They never believes it. Downtown, swear to God, downtown Water Street yesterday, I hear two ladies go by me, and one of them goes like this, Caroline. Caroline, there must be a cruise ship in town. Excuse me, she said, excuse me. Do you like it here? I said, do you like it here? And I said, actually, no, I'm from Cornerbrook. She said, I said, do you like it here? It must be a lot colder than what you're used to.
I think just over the years of performing, you start to take all those things in, and you probably adjust subconsciously. You're not even aware of a thing, but you just kind of go like, okay, I'm going to go more energy tonight, or a little bit less energy, or whatever. So I think that's just part of being a comic, I think.
The only show I watch, this is true, the only show I watch is The Doctors, because I can't get a family doctor in Calgary where I live. So I gotta hope that my symptoms come up on that episode.
Although we felt very strong about our own culture and realized we were extraordinarily proud of what we had been, and the way we use language here, which is so different, still incredibly different, and still incredible accents all over Newfoundland. Even the young kids now still got it. And you know, there were so many stories and so much history and all that stuff, but yet we were the joke people in Canada.
At Humour's Edge.
At the end of the day, I will once again say, at the end of the day. It's what I do. It's my promise to you. No taxis. A, B, C, anything but cabs. Thank you very much.
We were the first port in North America, so there were people coming and going all the time. So there was a kind of contact, you know, outside with lots of other cultures, because of course we were trading with Portugal and Spain and West Indies. And
so whether we find the humor in that struggle, or in that isolation, in that horrific life, any kind of release that we could find, humor and entertainment was it.
Well, actually, I went to Memorial University of Newfoundland, see? Hang up. And first time I ever got applauded for that, because the only thing I got out of it, because I flunked out, see? Immediately went to Labrador. I got a job that first winter after flunking out as a job in the bricklayer's helper in the winter in Labrador City. That was my job. If you'd like to reproduce for yourself the excitement of this experience in the privacy of your own home, just lie in your deep freeze and lift weights till you vomit. Got fired from that one. Yes! Immediately went to a bank to ask for a loan to start my career in comedy. That's where I got my first laugh.
So what do you think of Newfoundland?
It's delightful. I've been to St. John's twice to do comedy, and when I was little, I spent all my summers on the west coast of Newfoundland in Rocky Harbor, because that's where my dad's from.
You could be puking your guts up tonight. You could have a big party after this show and get hammered and come home and you're just like, that's how I puke.
I have to preface this has to be in the documentary, that this is not how my hair just looks. Like, I didn't just do this on purpose. I put pin curls in my hair because I want my hair to be curly tonight for the show. And, you know, if you guys want the reality of what it's like behind the scenes of comedy, that's what it looks like.
Sorry, I'm talking about the sex so much. I talk about the sex a lot, right? The sex. The sex. Are you getting the sex? I'm not. And one time I had a lady ask me, and she asked me in a real snotty kind of way too, right? She was like, why do comedians like to talk about intercourse so much? I was like, why not? Really? We wouldn't be here if there wasn't any intercourse. Yay, fucking intercourse. I think why people don't like talking about any of this, any of the stuff that happens here.
Do you find the nasty component, if I can call it that, in stand-up comedy advantageous, or do you have a specific view on it?
First off, I don't think it's nasty. Okay. I think it's jokes. I don't think it's fair to start compartmentalizing comedy. Sometimes it's said nasty in this way that somehow it's beneath something. Mm-hmm. But as an artist, when I'm in a venue in which I can say exactly what I want to say, then why am I less than simply because what I'm saying has some swear words in it, or I'm talking about sex? Because I can guarantee you the audience is probably going to go home and do what I'm talking about, and I'm going to go home and eat chips and watch a movie. So
there's an element of genuine irony there. And
I get off the plane on Sunday and it's right, it's freezing. It's freezing on Sunday. And then this guy says to me outside, he goes, pull it up before you walk. What did he say that? He was so happy. I just wanted to go, no! I'm part penguin. What? What? And I thought I'd figured out the why question as what at the end, huh? And somebody said, oh yeah, look up there, that's Signal Yellow. Then you ask the question, what's lobby? And nobody can fucking tell you. No, you're done from away, fuckface. You figured it out.
I shaved my head down to the wood because a friend of mine said, you're a little dude. If you shave your head, you look tougher. Do it. Shave it. Tougher. And I quickly realized I don't look tougher. I just look like a fat Phil Collins now. A mentally challenged Phil Collins. Studio, you figure it out. All right, 5 people from the 80s is going to be good. So I got to change my last joke because they're not going to let me say teabag.
Did they tell you that?
No, but I just know they're not going to. Anytime you have a festival situation, it really brings out people that wouldn't normally come to a comedy club, and they think it's a bit of an exciting time for comedy, and really, they've been getting almost 1,000 people a day for all their shows combined. Each night. I mean, you can't do much better than that. I mean, all the comics are loving it. We've all been staying out till 4 a.m. and going to George Street and getting screeched in. And I mean, I don't even drink or stay out late because I'm a father of 2 young boys, and I've been going to bed at 5 a.m. and eating, you know, fish and chips too many times, and my heart's gonna probably, you know, explode. I still might do it. Never know till the second I'm there. Teabag, well, that's what you do. Teabag, well, that's what you do. I'd come back here every weekend if I could. I mean, every comic's gonna say that, it's a cliche, but who doesn't want to perform on the Rock? Audiences are great. They come into a show knowing it's a show. They don't come in with as much agenda as maybe the rest of the country. I found it right away I could do whatever I wanted. Where in other parts of the country or other festivals, you have to kind of soften the blow a bit, but not here on the Rock.
at Humor's Edge. That's okay. I just don't want French fries. I know you guys think I'm kidding when I say I don't want French fries, but I really don't want French fries. I have $3 I've saved up, and I'm gonna spend it on salad.
My dad's from Ireland. My mom's from Quebec. That's how I grew up. Dad starting arguments and fights for no reason. Mom always moving to a separate part of the house, trying to call it her own. Yeah. Still wanted Dad to pay for it, though, which,
St. John's, I have found, really wants everyone to have their fix of French fries, which is great, because they're delicious, but I really, trying to cut down on something. So...
This is how cheap my dad is. If you go into his house, you have to bring the screen door closed behind you. You can't allow the screen door to close at its own pace. My dad thinks that's energy escaping from the house that he has already prepaid for. You can't just say, "Would you please close the door?" No, that's not colorful enough for an Irishman, is it? So my dad yells to every visitor to the house to this day, "Hey! The door's not an arsehole, it doesn't shut by itself."
Did eating the fries in any way, shape, or form affect why you have this wristband, which you've chosen not to take off, so that you may be able to get back into the Emerge?
This is my souvenir of the St. John's Critch Comedy Festival 2011. I developed some sort of infection in my arm, which is now wrapped with tape, and I can only bend it this much. And I got to experience St. John's hospitality in the emergency room.
Normally I would put my arm down at this point, but I can't, so I'll just pretend I'm singing a song to everybody. How's this side doing? Pretty good?
These are not the droids you're looking for.
Rainbow services?
When you do a set, outside of being the host of The Debaters, which is a fantastic show.
It's a great format, for sure.
So when you tell jokes through stand-up, do you find they go over differently here in Newfoundland as they would elsewhere in Canada or North America?
Well, it's an interesting question, because Newfoundland people are very, very funny in general, and I wouldn't describe these crowds as easy. They're great crowds, but you still have to work at the jokes to make them laugh, and there's the chance that if you're not funny, the heckler in the crowd will probably come up with something creative. So if they're gonna know a dull bulb sort of pretty quickly, you have to put some thought into the jokes.
In a stand-up comedy situation, you are it's coming from your imagination. The entire persona is coming from you. So it's three very different art forms, right? So am I different? Honestly, I believe if you are an actor in Newfoundland and Labrador, you need to know how to do everything if you're gonna make a living.
Your show is multi-layered.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, I try and have a lot of different elements. I think music always lifts it at another level, and it's nice to have that within the show to kind of buoy it up. But I like to just observe and extemporize a lot.
Hardtack. You sell hardtack, sir? Sweet! Well, you have something to plug the wall with if there's a flood. It expands to fill holes. It's a beautiful thing. And the hardtack expanded and it filled up the hole. And we were all sailed for the winter, but Mother was dead and she found her own head in a bag by the side of the road.
So I try and bring a lot of different styles of performance to every show.
And I guess you sense the room, and then you...
Sure, I feel that's what comics do. I think good comics do. They just kind of sense what people are really enjoying and hit harder in that area, you know? You have to be, like you say, in the zone, and you have to be like everything I do now, I have to create it to push it out there, right? People are not coming to me and asking me for stuff. Whereas, you know, during the Kaiko days, it was much more people wanted us, people, you know, were looking for us like that. So, you know, there's a kind of a thing where people will make things happen for you because there'll be money available for stuff because you're in that zone.
The music and the humor has always been the release. So that's all we've ever had, really, besides the rocks and the wind and the fish, if we're lucky.
And we've always had a very good grip on the value of quality of life as opposed to quantity of belonging. So people really value the joy they get from the cultural or the artistic kind of endeavors, from singing and from storytelling.
I completely understand that, like, if somebody's dirty, that not being someone's cup of tea. It feels the same way to me, like, when somebody calls something racial humor. Like, it's like, humor's humor. just let it be.
What do you think you're doing? You made me a promise. You're making a fool of me.
Sorry, Premier. You're kind of funny, boy.
You're making a fool of me up in the House of Assembly.
You does that yourself, Premier. You're not going to make me disappear like you did the Liberals, are you?
You challenging me, Critch? I think we can get rid of you.
Don't do it, boy, Premier, boy. Come off it, boy.
I got an army that can take you out here just like that.
Oh, yeah?
Because we don't put up with this nonsense around here.
Try it, cable boy.
Hey, go.
Get him out of here.
Put him away until after October 9th, then you can let him out.
Anybody but Critch, don't forget. I gotta talk about stereotypes for a second, ladies and gentlemen, because it pisses me off a bit. My God, look, Hollywood is so narrow-minded. I was on 24, and I had to play this stupid character. I just hated doing it. I felt so cheap, right? Because I can do more than that, you know, that limited look. Come on, boys, have a wider vision than that. Okay, so let me just describe it to you the way I'll reenact it for you, okay? I'll give you a little taste for those of you who didn't see it. Okay, so I get separated from my group, you know. You can figure out what kind of group it was, right? And here I am, I'm running through the desert because I'm fast, right? But Jack Bauer, that son of a, oh my God, he pisses me off. He gets everybody. He's some good. And he gets everybody was like, he's not getting me, no sir, right? And it was some stressful too, because that friggin' noise, that bloop, beep, doop, beep. The clock was ticking, beep, bloop, doop, beep, shut up. And I get away, right? And I hide out in this old bus in the desert, right? And I'm thinking, I got it covered. I'm so awesome, right? And I'm hiding out underneath the seat, but Jack Bauer bursts in the door, right? Grabs me by the scruff of my neck and he pulls me up. And I had to do that stupid accent and everything too, right? He's like, what do you have to say for yourself? And I looked at it and I was like, I felt so cheap. But I was like, how's you getting on, buddy? I was like, I am so sick of playing the dumb Newfoundlander. I can do more. Have some vision, Hollywood. Have some vision, right?